We've been doing this for a long time.
So old.
Yeah.
You are so old.
You're old.
No, you're older.
You got more gray than I do.
I most certainly do.
I got gray bush. You wouldn't know because I shave it.
I've got the distinguished look though. I've got the grays along the sides.
The temples. You got the temples.
Yeah.
Like
Reed Richards.
There you go. That's
Yep.
what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome back. Power Trip Gaming Retrospectives.
Wow, we're back to the retrospectives.
Yes, sir.
Continuing on from the yesteryears of Power Trip Gaming.
Oh, we have so many to go.
We do.
It's about time we fucking finish something for once. This ain't no fucking Faria.
We don't finish nothing.
Nothing. We don't beat nothing. So yes, we're moving on with the retrospectives. We are doing Mighty Final Fight.
I love this game.
Capcom's Mighty Final Fight, man.
Absolutely loved it.
You know, it was good.
It was really good.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. I do apologize because I think even back then I tackled the entire game. But
you knew it.
Oh, it's so good.
You knew
so
the game
good.
inside and out.
I did. I knew it inside and out because I had played it on the NES. They actually released it for the Game Boy Advance, the Capcom Classics Collection Mini Mix.
Yes, for the GBA. Yes.
Which I can't even remember what the other games were on that mix. It was 3 different games, but basically Mighty Final Fight is the only game I ever played on that mix.
Interesting.
I want to say Bionic Commando may have been another one of them, but I'm not.
Could be.
I'm not 100% sure. Hold on. Digression. I have it, so.
Yeah, might as well see it. I mean, they're right there.
Ah, here it is.
He's found it.
Yeah. All right. Yep, I was right. So it had Mighty Final Fight, Strider, and Bionic Commando.
The original ones, right? The NES version?
Yeah, the NES versions. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, the Capcom Capcom Classics Mini Mix. Whew,
that's kind of I've never even heard of that. Mm-hmm. That's actually a really cool little mix.
I got this.
I'm curious.
I got this at Best Buy on clearance, and I want to say it was $14.99.
What is it called? Capcom Classics Mini Mix.
It probably doesn't go for a whole hell of a lot.
$20 loose.
Loose?
Loose. 28 complete.
Oh, okay.
That's
not bad.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I
considering
guess so.
Probably all 3 of the we'll get into that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So, let's start off what this game actually is. It is a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
It is.
Which is a very rare thing on the Nintendo.
There was not many side-scrolling beat-em-ups. You had the Double Dragon series.
Yep, the 3 Double Dragons, Renegade.
I would say, yeah, Renegade, which was almost kind of an offshoot of Double Dragon.
Kind of. Target Renegade, I believe, was one as well.
Target Renegade, Batman Returns, which was that.
I always forget about that one.
Urban Champ. Urban Champion, you kind of almost put it into like a side-scrolling beat-em-up. But
I suppose.
But that's about it.
Yeah, not very many.
There's
and
not, yeah.
Bad Dudes, I suppose
Maybe you could, yeah.
I mean, but they're like rudimentary.
Yes.
As far as like that genre on the NES, they were still trying to find their footing.
I still feel like it was this, and Double Dragon was like the truest of the, and maybe Batman Returns.
Yeah, because
truest of the side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
Because Double Dragon, to be fair, did not play all that great.
Oh no, it played terribly.
From my recollection.
Oh no, it played terribly.
Yeah, they do not play well. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I would say that genre really didn't play well until, well into the Genesis, Super Nintendo, and maybe even a little after that. Because, I mean, there was, like, Rival Turf, Knights of the Round, which was okay, but still wasn't as good as its arcade counterpart.
I still liked Knights of the Round,
I know you did.
I liked it.
But, like, what was the other one? There was another one. What was the other one you got me? There's Rival Turf.
I thought I got you.
There's another beat 'em up.
Oh,
I can't remember it.
I know what you're
Fuck,
talking about.
I must have blacked it out of my memory because it was so horrible.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was the one where we were able to, like, rename the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, no, I don't know. But either way, it's...
It'll come
this
to me.
genre was
It'll come
still
to me.
finding its footing in this early system.
Yeah.
So, like, Double Dragon stuff, I know people have a lot of nostalgia for. I always thought it played like shit.
It's a terrible series.
It's
I think
not
I
great.
think it's quite honestly one of the most overrated series on the NES.
100%.
Hands down.
It is not that great. It doesn't play that great.
1, 2, and 3 are terrible.
Yeah. I mean, considering they couldn't even program 2 players on it.
On the first one, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, Mighty Final Fight, fantastic. Came out by Capcom in 1993.
Yes, sir.
It was, believe it or not, it was the Nintendo port of the original Final Fight game.
Pretty much.
Basically.
I mean, except you're using chibi forms of Cody, Guy, and Hagar.
Yep.
Which this is the only version where...
Which is funny because you couldn't even play as Guy in the original in the original Final Fight game.
This was the only version or the part that included all 3 characters.
Yes, it was, because then Final Fight came out, it had Cody and Hagar, and then they released Final Fight Guy, which replaced which
Hagar,
actually included Guy, but then they replaced him with replaced Cody with him.
Oh, it was Cody.
So you could play as Hagar or you could play as Guy.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But this was also the only port to include the experience system.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was very, very reminiscent of Double Dragon, the way that the experience system worked, where you had, I think, 6 levels you can make it to.
So.
And the more you powered up, I think it actually affected your ending if you made it to the full 6. Yeah.
Well, I know each character around level 4,
They started getting
you got a new
abilities,
attack.
yeah.
Cody got this vacuum wave attack.
Yeah, he got his fireball thing.
Guy got some sort of spinning kick, and Hagar got like
his spinning lariat,
spinning clothesline.
Yeah, spinning clothesline.
Yeah, it was actually very interesting for its time.
Yeah, and I mean, you had all of the different characters that were represented in Final Fight. You had like Poison, you had X or whatever the other ones were. You had the small ones that had very little life bar. You had the ones that had a really long life bar. You had Andor's in there, who was modeled after Andre the Giant.
Yeah, you had even a lot of the bosses made returns. Like you had Sodom.
Yeah,
you had some of the other ones. One was Thrasher.
Thrasher, who I think ended up... He was at the very beginning of the first level. I want to say Abigail was not an original boss from Final Fight 1, though.
I don't even remember who that is.
Abigail was the bald one with the... with, like, the tuft of, like...
Oh,
mohawk.
yeah, okay, yeah. But I know Thrasher's original name was Damned.
Yes.
D-A-M-N-D.
Yeah, that was probably in Japan. Never came to the United States. Like
change that for us.
Surprisingly enough, though, Sodom's name stayed the same. Believe it or not.
Well, I think his Blade? Was it Blade?
Oh, maybe it was named. Maybe it was named Blade in the Nintendo version.
Maybe I don't really remember, but I know.
No, he was Katana.
That's what it was.
It was Katana.
Katana. I knew it was something.
Because it was originally Sodom, and then they brought it back, and he ended up becoming named his actual name in the Street Fighter Alpha series.
Street
Fighter Alpha 2, I believe.
Yes, because Cody and Guy was
Guy both made it into...
And Hagar.
Yes.
Eventually.
Well, Hagar later.
Yeah, he was in the MVC games.
Cody and Guy both made it into Street Fighter Alpha 1, and then were basically staples of the Street Fighter Alpha series. And then Hagar made his appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, this series, for all intents and purposes,
has a lot of history with it.
There's a lot to it. But right now, we're just going to tackle the NES.
Yep. So,
it was, 5 stages? With 2 bonus stages, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I believe so. After the second level and after the 4th level, there was bonus levels. Yep.
So basically, plot: Hagar's daughter Jessica
gets kidnapped
by the Mad Gear gang, and Cody, Guy, and Hagar go rescue her.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't know where Guy fits into everything, but I know
either.
that it's Hagar's daughter, but then it's Cody's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's why he gets in there. I don't know where Guy came from, but Guy's pretty decent. It was that Capcom trope where you had a person who was super weak but super fast. You had the person that was right in between, and then you had the person that was slow as molasses but super strong.
Oh, yeah.
And so you had Hagar on that side who was slow but super strong. Cody was like the balance. And then Guy was super weak, but he was super fast.
Oh, yeah. So, with that, we'll get into it. So, what do you give this game for a difficulty?
So, personally, for this game, for the difficulty, I'm leaning towards a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
It's definitely, maybe a 4, although, I don't know, I think...
There's no continues, right?
You can win continues in the bonus games, though.
Oh.
But I want to say, though, that you at least get... Because the only reason we didn't know if there was continues or not is because we never actually, I never got a game over.
Yeah, you did. You had to restart at one point.
No, I lost.
Pretty sure.
No, I
lost.
lost.
I thought you ended up dying at one point and you had to start over.
I don't recall.
Pretty sure you did.
Pretty sure I didn't.
Unless I'm thinking Double Dragon.
You might be thinking
Because I think Double Dragon... Oh, yeah, I might be thinking... Because there's an elevator level in Double Dragon, and I think you got killed in that.
Probably.
And you had to start the game over. Yes.
Double Dragon 2.
We never played 2. Oh, yeah, we did play 2. But we played that together.
Yeah.
But I thought one of these... It was either this or Double Dragon 1. I don't really remember.
One maybe does have continues then, too. But I'll have to play or look through it again. But I don't think I died. I did not die.
Maybe you didn't.
Because I did end up getting, extra lives here and there as well, too. So I really don't think that I had ever gotten I want to say when I beat the last guy, I had 1 life left. So there's no way I would have burned through 1 full continue and then almost through a second continue. It just wouldn't have happened. So, but the game, all in all, overall the game is pretty simple. It's literally just punch, 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 and go on.
Punch, 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 kick a couple times, maybe, you know.
And there's, because of the limitations of the Nintendo, there's only 1 to 2 enemies. I think you can't have more than 2 enemies on screen at any given time.
I don't think so.
The bosses they moved in very predictable patterns, very easy to identify and to counter what they were doing. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, it's not a very tough game. I would honestly say that it's probably a 3.
Yeah, you're gonna go 3.
As far as difficulty, yeah.
I was thinking 4, but yeah, I could go with a 3. I think.
Yeah,
because it's like you said, it's.
I truly do think that you do get at least 2 continues right off the bat, and then the fact that you can win more. I mean, you really don't need more than.
Yeah,
more than that.
Because I know Double Dragon, there were no. No, that was which one? Which one of the Double Dragon games had no continues?
Oh, 3.
That was
3
3.
had no continues.
God.
Yeah. That game's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, for all intents and purposes, the enemies weren't that hard. I mean, like you said, it's a beat 'em up from the old days. There's only so much they could do pattern wise, and so many enemies on screen. I don't know, but I agree with the what did we say? 3?
3. Hold on.
Yeah, I agree with the 3.
4, 2.
What do you?
Hold on.
Oh boy.
2, 1. Yep, bingo. Beat the game without continuing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be thinking Double Dragon. Then.
I think so.
Yeah, that's definitely likely.
But yeah, the game is actually it's very simple, very easy to counter things, and nothing is overtly difficult. There's really no platforming at all. It's just literally a classic traditional beat 'em up.
As it should be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be platforming. Mm-hmm. When Double Dragon 2 made us do platforming, that was stupid.
That was ridiculous because
stupid.
It had terrible controls. It should never have allowed. It should never have focused on platforming.
Not at all. And I remember the platforming was super janky.
Yes, it was because the controls sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one, I remember the controls. I mean, I didn't play it personally. I know you did, but they looked tight.
Yeah. Oh,
it wasn't
100%.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad. So I'd say 3 probably feels right.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll move on to fun. It's colorful. It's cute. the music's good from what I remember. I mean, it's Capcom, so I mean, their soundtracks are generally always banging. A lot of your favorite characters from the SNES version make appearances in this in adorable, cute little forms. Cute little Poison, adorable. Like, this game is a gem, in my opinion. It's one of those where I don't think a lot of people really knew that this was on the NES.
No.
So it's like, it's a hidden gem for sure.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I'm not a huge beat 'em up genre fan. Like, I like the Streets of Rage games. Those are fun. But I'm not huge on this. But for everything they packed into this, I was going to go, like, 7.
That's exactly where I was going to go, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, honestly. This is a great game. It's one that I did not know originally came out on the NES. I was always a fan of the Final Fight series, so when I started collecting Nintendo games and I saw that there was actually a game called Mighty Final Fight, I thought, no, that can't be the same game. And on the cover of it is Cody basically kicking, and I'm just like, oh my god, it literally is. It's Final Fight, like on the NES. Like, I need to have this game. And when I popped it in, so I've always been a fan of the beat 'em up genre. Popped it in. I mean, you have 5 levels. It's a pretty decent length for what you get.
The good old
very like varied stages. A lot of the enemies are like you fight the same 3 or 4 enemies. So
pretty recycled.
That gets a little bit recycled. Even the bosses, they use some of them multiple times. So you'll fight Abigail a couple times. You'll fight
I think fight Sodom a couple times.
Yeah, you'll fight Katana a couple times as well too. But for the most part, I mean, it almost feels like you've got levels 1 through 4, and then you get to 5, where it's almost like a boss rush mode in the sense of, like, you're facing other bosses, like, throughout the course of that level, and then you have to fight the game's final boss. So, I mean, there's a lot really packed into it. Very colorful, great graphics, but that kind of goes to show that this game was really late in the NES's life cycle, too. It came out in 1993, so, I mean, just around the corner was the end of its life cycle.
I was about to say, you only had one more year for the NES games.
Absolutely, and Final Fight came out in 1992 on the Super Nintendo, so you better believe that they were really trying to focus more so on the Super Nintendo at that point.
Oh yeah, they were trying to make the jump.
But Capcom did a great job. The soundtrack is just phenomenal. There is not a bad song in this game.
Capcom very rarely had a miss with their music.
The controls were so responsive, so good, tight. But I do feel that the only thing that I can really kind of ding this game for is the fact that they do recycle a lot of the enemies. And there's really not a whole lot of variety in the sense that once you play through the entire game, if you come back to this game, it's because it's just kind of like
a nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Maybe play as a different character.
And maybe that's what it is too. So maybe there is a little bit of replay value, but it just doesn't seem like there's enough to like go back to it. But at the same time, every time I pick this game up, I enjoy the hell out of it. So there's obviously some flaws to it, but for the most part, it's a solid 7. I think that this is a gem that people do not talk about enough. No. Unfortunately, it's one of those more expensive games on the system now.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, and so I don't think that a lot of people are looking for this game if beat 'em ups are their genre. But it's just a shame that it's not talked about more, and it really just kind of flew under the radar back then, and still to this day, I don't really think that people really talk about it now.
No, not that I can recall, and not that I know of. But so that's 3 for difficulty, 7 for fun. Paul, what did you pay for Mighty Final Fight?
You are not gonna believe this. But I bought this game on eBay, and it was around 2003 or 2004.
Ooh,
Real early on. My bid was the only bid, and I won it for $5.
Of course you were the only bid. Nobody knew it existed.
No, and honest to God, that is how I felt, is that I think that I was the only bidder because nobody really knew that this game
was a
thing. Yeah. So I won it for $5.
Nice.
Uncontested.
That is good.
Yeah.
So, as of this video on PriceCharting.com, Mighty Final Fight 306.
It's over
18.
It's over $300. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
306.18, my friends. A resounding no, unfortunately.
At that point, that's where you have to,
find other avenues.
You gotta draw the line. Yep, I was gonna say, play it on the Game Boy Advance.
$20.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 3 classic games.
Classic Nintendo games.
Yeah, you might as well.
Unfortunately, this is one of those games where it's like, you've got Strider on that mix, you got Bionic Commando, which I'm pretty sure Bionic Commando is on the Switch, the Nintendo Live.
I believe so.
I don't know if Strider is, but
I don't think Strider
I can tell you right now, Mighty Final Fight is probably never going to end up in that collection.
No. So if this is one that you would be interested in, definitely go for the Capcom Classics.
Try it on the Advance here.
Unfortunately, you're gonna not play it on an actual Nintendo. You're gonna be playing it on a GBA or maybe the Game Boy player for the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. But or if you have an EverDrive cart, like a Nintendo cart or something like that, because I know that they do make those kinds of carts. That might be your way to actually play the game.
But sadly, if you're looking for the authentic,
it's too expensive.
It's a little bit much.
If you are trying to complete the NES collection, then it's going to be one of those necessary
evils.
Yeah, necessary evils.
Unfortunately, that's the time we're in now.
But at this point, it's definitely worth a playthrough, but not at that price.
No. But sadly, that is what it is.
That's where we're at with most of those games.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of it is the one nice thing I will say about this generation is there are a lot of multiple ways to play some of these games.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there's only one way to play Little Samson at this point, and it's the cart.
Yeah.
Or emulation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, with a lot of these, there are so many different avenues. They've been on so many collections.
Yeah.
So many, like, nostalgia things that have come up where it's like, games like this can almost get a second life.
Mm-hmm.
That people wouldn't even know what was there.
Yeah.
You know, like, if for some reason, what was Panic Restaurant? Taito?
Yeah, it was Taito. Yeah.
God forbid Taito puts out a collection and maybe throws Panic Restaurant on there. You know what I mean? Like,
they could put Little Samson on it as well too.
Yeah, a couple Bubble Bobbles, you know, whatever. So it's like these collections have kind of given way to new ways for current generations to play it. Yeah, for ones that we never knew were even there.
Yeah.
So I will say that is kind of the one nice thing about, like, even with the like the Retron systems, the Polymegas, stuff like that, where like these, I don't want to say third-party systems, even though I guess they are. I don't know.
Polymegas are a third party.
Right. I guess
they're independently made. Yeah. I'm
trying to think of what the word would be, because it's not
just gaming console. Just
call it an emulation console, I guess, because you're technically emulating a console from before,
in a sense, but in the sense of Polymega, it's actually copying over games that you don't have. So you're actually putting the disc in, it's copying it to the system, and then it's basically
playing off that.
You can play off of that.
But like things like the Retron system, where you're using authentic carts, it's mimicking the console, but
you're using authentic hardware.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's kind of, I was trying to think of the word for that, but.
No, I don't think there really is a term for it at this point.
I guess just an emulation console.
Yeah, just retro gaming.
Whatever.
So,
but either way, that's Mighty Final Fight.
I am so
quick and easy.
I am so happy that I knew what this game was when I got it, because I do not think that I would ever have been able to get my hands on it, at least for a reasonable price, because
you
don't see this one often.
No, I don't really think I come across this one very much.
It's a rare game because it came late in the life cycle, but it's also in that unfortunate middle tier area where it's not necessarily middle tier, but so you've got your Little Samson, you've got your Flintstone Surprise at Dino Peak, you've got your Panic Restaurant. Those are like not even Zombie Nation. I would say Bonk's Adventure. You've got these super expensive ones that people will more times than not have for sale, even though the prices are crazy. And then you've got your
Scats, your Power Blades.
Maybe well, it's like you've got your like $100 games here and there that are maybe easy to find too, but it's like games
Dragon
like
Warrior 4.
Games like Dragon Fighter, Mighty Final Fight. They're those games that are like in that not quite super expensive, but expensive enough, but it's just you're not seeing it.
Higher middle tier.
Exactly.
But lower high tier.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're in that like anomalous.
It's almost like the ether. Yeah, they're in the ether. They're not here and they're not there. So it's like in the terms of comic books are like certain ones can be hard to find because it's like it's not old, so you can't find it in the back issue bins, but it's not new, so you can't find it on the newsstand. So it's like, how do you find it?
Yeah,
and
I know what you
mean.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
So it's like I feel like Mighty Final Fight ended up in that kind of middle ground where it's just you don't see it often.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Power Blade 2 kind of finds its way there too. Like you don't see a lot of Power Blade 2.
No. Even I don't really recall how expensive Bubble Bobble Part 2 is. That's another one you don't see much.
And that's about a $400 to $500 game, so it's right in that window where it's like it's not super expensive, top tier expensive, but
I mean,
it's
most people didn't even know Bubble Bobble Part 2 was a thing. Most people thought Rainbow Islands was Bubble Bobble 2.
Well, because it literally listed as the story of Bubble Bobble 2. Yeah.
Which is weird because there is a Bubble Bobble Part 2.
Yeah.
Very strange. It's very odd.
Part 2, which came out in 1993 as well.
Shocker.
Yeah.
So there you guys go.
That'll do it.
So that'll do it for this review of
I already said
thing.
That.
Link in the description takes you directly to the playlist of Mighty Final Fight.
So that'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll do, pig.
Hit us up.
That'll do.
Hit us up on Facebook.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Go to PowerTripGaming.tv. Takes you directly to the channel where you can watch all of the other shit we're playing.
Yes, you can watch our side quest material too, or you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify for our PTG Powercast, where we talk about video games and comic books and retro stuff and everything that we want.
That's right.
Yes.
So the next time on the Power Trip Gaming Retrospective,
you can also message us.
Fuck it!
NESPowerTrip@gmail.com if you don't like social media. Next time on Power Trip, we'll review something else. You suck. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do, pig. Fair enough. God damn it. Bungled.
Ain't no Bungley Bay.